Welcome to the channel and Forza Horizon 4 on Xbox One X in 4K. So this is the first of many videos that I'm going to do reference a particular vehicle in the game and PvP racing. So what I've done here is set up an S1900 class tune for the 2016 Jeep Trailcat. Now this is a vehicle I loved to bits in Forza Motorsport 7 where it first appeared. And I thought, great, this, it's back in Forza Horizon 4. Let's get this thing tuned and test it up against unbeatable AI, but more importantly, online against real rivals or real people. So I designed it with a very quick launch and respectable high speed as well. The other thing I did with this vehicle was give it a reasonably loose suspension. It's still quite stiff in terms of suspensions, but for this vehicle it's still relatively loose. And the reason I did that is because one, it's a very heavy vehicle, two, it's extremely fast because it's an S1900, and three, obviously fast means if you're going off a jump you're going to get some pretty high distances and some very high impact landings, and obviously having a very soft suspension or suspension soft enough to absorb the shock is very important for a heavy vehicle like this. Now I found that personally if a vehicle is too stiff, especially a heavy vehicle like this, when you land you typically can land sidewards or at an angle, and controlling the car becomes quite difficult after a high impact landing. Having a bit of give in the suspension in this particular vehicle especially allows better control on landing. It absorbs some of that shock. Occasionally you get the odd kick out like I did back there where the car kind of bounces out of a hillside and you kind of have to fight a little bit to get it back. But to be honest, the handling on this vehicle is really good and really easy to regain control in the event you start to lose control. Now on my first run through of this particular section I actually missed the fact I needed to be on the left side of this ramp coming up so that I hit nice and clean through this archway. The battlements of this castle are quite tough. If you miss that jump up the top there, or you're not got enough speed, you'll actually land up stuck on top of the battlement. So do try to avoid going over that battlement if you don't have speed to jump, because you will land up getting stuck. Now as you can see at the moment this tune is blowing the competition away on lap 3. There's not an enemy in sight, or not an enemy, a competitor in sight shall we say. So I actually left everyone for dead here in this vehicle. It's just extremely fast for its class, and also it's just got really good handling. And off-road obviously is where it excels, but it's actually still very good on-road. Obviously someone with race tyres on road circuits generally are going to get the better of you if they've got a pretty fast vehicle. But if you've got a mixture of off-road vehicles and it's off-road racing with occasional road sections, this is a great tune to take to the battle, so to speak. Really works well. And obviously the great thing about the Jeep Trailcat as well is it kind of makes you a little bit bully-proof online. It's quite a heavy vehicle, so people trying to smash you out of corners are going to have a much harder time achieving that. So I managed to get a win there, quite a convincing win over my competitors, and we won very convincingly on the blue team there at the Castle Cross Country Circuit. So next up we're going to do a rush. Obviously all of these online PvP modes involve a race, a rush, a race, a rush and a race. So obviously depending on how many we win will dictate how many races we do. If we win the first 3, then we win outright. If we win one, lose one, and then at least have to do another 2 races. So in this case we won the first race, we're into this rush, and providing I don't screw up, and that's the biggest thing about rush, is taking the right route. Obviously I'm still kind of learning the map at the moment, where is good and where is not good to go, and on the rushes I still make the occasional mistakes, but it's not a fault of the car, it's a fault of me, just making a bad driving choice, if you like. Kind of got caught up in the wall there where I kind of kicked the back end out just that little bit too much and put the front into the wall. So far I'm off in second place. I was first place for a little bit there until I lost control. And I'm going to cut straight across here and then head straight on again. We've got a road section coming up in the distance. A few trees there, so I'll just go a little bit wide. I'll stick to this road because this is a really fast section of road, this motorway. And this holds really nicely on roads like this. Obviously it's a massive road anyway, but the handling on this car, you know, we're at 193 mile an hour in this thing. Not a twitch from it, you know, it works really well. So jump straight over the roundabout there. And we're at 67% at this point. I'm in first place. Obviously it's up to me at this point to make sure all my choices are good. That wasn't one of them. I kind of ripped away the crash barrier. And then nice tight turn here. Just wanted to avoid those trees. There was a big tree there that would have stopped me dead. And then on to the finish. This is where it gets dangerous. I don't really know this section, so this is where things can go wrong. And there it goes. Oh, I flipped it. Damn it. And I've rolled it. Oh no. So bring it back in control. Someone's right on top of me. Ah, they're going to beat me to first place. I would have had a first place there had I not screwed it up. So I got second place as my opponent flies off the mountain there. So again, potential winning first place there. I just screwed it up at the last minute because I didn't really know that circuit. So not too bad. Now obviously we've won 2 at this point. We've only got to win 1 more race. So, and obviously it's not just about me, it's about my team. So my team are doing pretty well here. They're coming in higher places as well, which is allowing us to win these events. So next up we've got another race. And I'm actually up against quite a mixture of vehicles here. You know, we've got some hypercars, we've got, you know, typical trophy trucks, we've got some off-road vehicles like mine. We've even got things like the Mustang there as well to compete against. So not typical choices for off-road racing, but I guess they've configured dirt tyres and rally suspension. That's pretty much what I'm doing across the board for most of my tunes. Oh, I thought that might be the case. Now I'm sure I kind of just breezed that checkpoint. I'm sure I felt the flag kind of tap the car, but you know, the game's telling me otherwise. I have seen a lot of issues, and generally it's when I'm in first place. The game screws me over and tells me I didn't drive through a checkpoint when I very clearly did on a number of occasions. That one back there was a bit touch and go. You know, I think I would, you know, might have just been out, but I was so close to it. You know, it's pretty annoying when you kind of classed as out and you're right on top of the damn thing. It's not like I tried to deliberately avoid it or anything, you know. So, but I've had lots of issues with checkpoints, and so have quite a few of my racing colleagues as well. So it's still very much there as it has been since Forza Horizon 2. Checkpoints have always been an issue in this game. So my advice to you definitely is stick to the middle of the checkpoint. If you're in the middle, 99.9% of the time it won't screw you out of it. If you drive over it or very close to it, or kind of brush it with the back end of your car, it kind of randomly decides whether or not you're going to get it. You know, it is a bit cheeky sometimes with that. It's not all the time, it's around about 5% of the time, but it's, you know, it's cost me quite a few first places, this checkpoint issue. So I've screwed up obviously earlier on in this race, missed the checkpoint, and I'm now in catch-up mode. And a few people are making some mistakes here. Plus, as I said, this is really good off-road, this vehicle. It's managed to get me into second place. And this is pretty much the route that you take with that first barn find. Not barn find. The first showcase, the Behemoth. And this guy in the Mustang's having some real trouble getting traction, which has allowed me to zip him on the finish line. So that is my S1900 Jeep Trailcat tune. Really good tune. I would recommend it to you guys. Quite a few of my friends are racing this and actually love it to bits, and I've actually had some nice messages from the community, thank you, liking the tune. So if you want to download it, just look for my gamer tag as it's spelt on the channel, and King Space Lizard, 2 Z's, all lowercase. If you enjoyed the video, maybe like the video, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel, maybe subscribe to the channel. Thanks again for watching. Take care, keep well, and most importantly, come back soon.